morning, everyone. Good morning. If you have a little quiet, please. We want to get started. We've established a quorum. Thank you. At this point, we would like to have our invocation. And this morning, the chair recognizes the Imam Muhammad Abdul-Aleem of Masjidullah. He is here today as the guest of Councilwoman Parker. I would ask all guests, visitors, and members to please rise.
As we begin this invocation, I would like to first give a few remarks. I want to give thanks to my councilwoman, Cherelle Parker, who has been a great blessing to our councilmatic district and who has shown great visionary leadership in terms of including all of the members of her district. And as a Muslim, I'm always happy to know that people see us as partners in the need to make the society and our community better. I also want to thank Councilwoman Helen Gint, who has come up and helped to stand with us and to stand with all of the disenfranchised people in this current political environment. I want to thank my brother, Councilman Curtis Jones, who has had the foresight to understand that as a Muslim, you can't wear your religion on your sleeve, but you must be a servant of the people and look for the good of humanity. I want to thank Councilwoman Jamie Blackwell, who has for years stood with us in terms of making her councilmatic district better and us working as partners. And lastly, I want to thank my brother, Council President Darrell Clark, who has made us all proud by being a true servant of the people and working hard to put neighbor back in the hood. These are the people that I've worked with over the years, and I want to just thank them before I give this invocation. Our Lord, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, who opened the doors to all people a way of good conscience and good work. Grant to this council that they continue to serve the people of this city, taking pride in human dignity, human industry, and the search and struggle for human excellence. Let us pray that this council be an inspiration to other city councils, this state and this nation to move towards social and economic justice for all. Grant that this council always have the human heart for charity, compassion, and mercy for the weak and less fortunate among us. Grant that we as human beings always have more hope than trouble and ever grow in goodness and in wisdom. Bless us to always cherish our freedom and the noble excellence of our own human being, our own human life, Grant that we as citizens understand better our brothers and sisters in our neighborhoods and also around the world, and reject unsuitable racism, sexism, dualism, and we work for a human society of brotherhood and peace. Bless us as citizens to live up to the noble name of this city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. Bless us in the city neighborhoods to return the neighbor back to the hood. Bless us to establish our city as a city of safety and security for all citizens. Bless the workers of our cities and those in uniform and those not in uniform. Bless all citizens and government that we work together, those of great means and small means, to appreciate more our city and work together to make the environment good for all. Bless our homes and our schools. Bless our parents. Bless our troubled youth, our burdened neighborhoods to never be without hope or direction. Bless us as neighbors to keep the best of our ways. Bless us to cherish more the pride of industry and self-reliance. Bless the efforts of this council and all efforts in progress for more jobs and more opportunities for in this great city of ours, more for all of us. Bless marriage and matrimony and families here and around the world. Bless us to understand the great time in which we live, the time of the human being. Increase the council and its leadership and every member of the council, the leaders of this city, to strive more for the excellence of the human spirit, the excellence of the human intellect, and that of statesmen, so that we may build a better world for all of us. Amen. Thank you so much, and I pray that our words will be sufficient to help us grow. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Imam, so much for those inspiring words. Council will be at ease. Thank you again, Imam, for those inspiring words. We really appreciate it. The next order of business is the approval of the journal of the meeting of Thursday, May 18, 2017, and the chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, May 18, 2017 be approved.
Thank you. It has been moved and properly seconded that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, May 18, 2017 stand approved. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, ayes have it, and the journal is approved. Next order of business is request for leave of absence, and the chair recognizes Councilman Henon.
Thank you, Council President. On behalf of the majority, there are no requests of leave of absence today.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair now recognizes Councilman O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the Republicans, there are no requests for leave of absence.
Chair thanks the gentleman. At this time, I would like to dispense with the regular order of business, and I would like to welcome and thank everyone who has taken time out of their busy day to come down and witness their government in action. We hope that your stay here today is a knowledgeable one, but more importantly, a pleasurable one, so much so that you come back again. Again, thank you so much. As we celebrate Small Business Week in the city of Philadelphia, City Council would like to extend a warm welcome to the Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia small business members and representatives who are joining us here today. Could I ask them to please stand? Let's give them a warm. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all the wonderful things you do in our wonderful city. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Bass, who will present a resolution recognizing Imhotep Charter men's basketball team, must have won another championship, with Coach Andre Noble, and those accompanying him, please join the Councilwoman at the podium. And joining Councilwoman Bass, we have Councilman Green, Councilman Jones, Councilwoman Kiona Sanchez, and Councilwoman Blackwell. Here we go.
Yeah. Check it out, Kurt. Check it out.
There you go.
Come on down, guys. Come on down. Step up. We need you all. Come on. Good morning.
Morning.
Well, what a wonderful day it is. Despite the weather, this is a day for winners. And so everybody likes a winner, right? And I have to say, you know, Imhotep has just done an outstanding job. Let's give them a round of applause. We hear so many negative things about our young people that when, you know, we have an opportunity like this, I just really want to celebrate. And everybody likes a winner, you know, everybody plays ball to some degree, you know. And, you know, I can play, I can, you know, I can do a little something in my mind. But I can't do anything near what these young people have done. And so I'm just really honored and pleasured and pleased to be able to recognize them here today. And so we have a resolution, and it reads, honoring and recognizing Imhotep Charter men's basketball team for winning the 2017 Philadelphia Public League championship title.
Whereas on February 23rd, 2017, at St. Joseph's Hagan Arena, the Imhotep Charter Panthers won the men's basketball championship for the Philadelphia Public League by defeating the Martin Luther King Cougars 53-49 in overtime. And whereas Imhotep's starting point guard, Deron Russell, was deemed the most valuable player for the second time in his basketball career for scoring a game high of 24 points. And
so now I have to do Helen Gim's part. This is punishment, but congratulations. Whereas with the Philadelphia Public League Championship, Imhotep will have won its 6th Public League Championship and now faces Conwell Egan on March 4th, 2017 at Philadelphia University for all the city title and the right to go on to the state playoff game. And whereas, even before the recent win, Imhotep's men's basketball team was ranked number 7 in the nation by USA Today.
Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that it hereby honors and recognizes Imhotep Charter men's basketball team for winning the 2017 Philadelphia Public League championship title.
Let's hear it for Northwest Philadelphia. Do we have the Sixers in the house? Anybody from the Sixers here? Anybody from, right? Let's recruit. We're building our Sixers team, folks, right?
Further resolved that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Imhotep Charter School and its head coach, Andre Noble, as evidence of the high esteem and deep admiration of this legislative body. Congratulations.
And the chair recognizes Coach Sutton. Sutton?
6 years.
Okay.
On behalf of Dr. Aisha Imani, our executive manager, and Principal Jory Seegers, we want to thank City Council for recognizing us. Very proud of the young men that are behind me. Council, this is, winning state titles is usually the second best day of our calendar. The first day is when our young people sign their national letters of intent to go into post-secondary education. With that, our two seniors, David Beatty will be going to the University of South Carolina, and Deron Russell will be going to the University of Rhode Island in the fall. So we're grateful for that. We're also grateful for our councilwoman for inviting us down. And I didn't want her to know that I actually had something for her, so I had to stick it in my pocket. But we have her a state championship medal for her to be a part of our state championship team. So we wanted to give her that.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Beatties. Thank you and congratulations again. At this time, excuse me, the chair recognizes Councilman Squilla, who will present a resolution recognizing the American Bible Society. With Dr. Roy Peterson and those accompanying him, please join the councilman at the podium. And joining Councilman Squilla, we have Councilman Green, Councilman O, and Councilwoman Blackwell. doing? Good.
I didn't bring it. Good morning, everybody, and today's a special day in honoring the American Bible Society on this occasion of its 200th anniversary, and now also back in Philadelphia where it all started. So it's a great honor to be here and have this honor. Today, the American Bible was founded on May 11th, 1816. Philadelphia native Elisa Bonnet, a president from the Continental Congress, served as the first president. Other early leaders of American Bible Society include John Jay, Francis Scott Key, and John Quincy Adams. And whereas American Bible Society originally sought to unite more localized Bible societies with the goal to distribute the Bible across the country. This vision soon expanded worldwide. Over the past 200 years, the American Bible Society has distributed approximately 6 million Bibles around the world.
6 billion.
Say that.
6 billion. Whereas American Bible Society has supported the American military since its founding, it distributed Bibles to the American military for the first time in 1817, and it has delivered Bibles and New Testaments to American soldiers in every war in which American troops have participated since the Mexican-American War in 1846. And whereas in a 1901 address to an auxiliary of American Bible Society, then Vice President Theodore Roosevelt remarked, quote, "Every thinking man, when he thinks, realizes what a very large number of people tend to forget, that the teachings of the Bible are so interwoven and intertwined with our whole civic and social life that it would be literally impossible for us to figure to ourselves what that life would be if these teachings were removed. We would lose almost all standards by which we now judge both public and private morals, all the standing toward which we, with more or less resolution, strive to raise ourselves. And
whereas a pioneering spirit has always been a vital part of American Bible Society's success and longevity. It co-published the first Bible in Braille in 1842. Between 1918 and 1919, American Bible Society appointed its first women board members and 2 women vice presidents, a year before women had the right to vote in America. In 2012, it introduced the Digital Bible Library. Visitors to American Bible Society's website can search the Bible in over 582 versions and over 466 languages. New endeavors include developing Bible-based online games and virtual reality programs to help new audiences discover the stories found in the Bible. And whereas, after nearly 200 years in New York City, American Bible Society moved into a new Philadelphia headquarters at 101 North Independence Mall East in August 2015. Most of American Bible Society's approximately 200 employees work in this new office. And
whereas the bicentennial legacy of American Bible Society is a testament to over 200 years of religious liberty in Philadelphia and the United States, which has proven beneficial to moral, civic, and public life. Philadelphia is excited to build its relationship with American Bible Society as it celebrates the promising start of a new century, establishes a wider presence, and has a deeper impact in its new home. Therefore, be it.
Thank you. And I do want to say this Bible Society is going to be one of the places to go to, and when you're in Philadelphia, it's going to be a must-see once they get everything up and running, and we are proud, and I'm sure we'll hear from them later on what it is that they're going to be presenting to us here in Philadelphia. So, resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that we hereby recognize and honor American Bible Society on the occasion of its 200th anniversary. Resolved further that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to the American Bible Society, evidence of the sincere admiration and respect of this legislative body, introduced by myself, Councilman David O., and Derek Green, Councilman Blackwell, and all members of council. Congratulations.
And the chair recognizes Dr. Peterson for remarks.
Thank you very much. On behalf of American Bible Society, our Board of Trustees, and our staff, we express our sincere gratitude to you for this honor. Councilman Honorable Mark Squilla and Honorable David O., and to each of you, thank you for this gift. To Council President Honorable Darrell Clark, for your leadership of this chamber, we give you thanks and gratitude for making this a vibrant city for us to relocate back to. To each of you on the council, we appreciate your service and are thankful for the honor that you have given us today. We feel welcomed and back at home in Philadelphia. We've had a wonderful 2 years here already. Our roots do go back to 1740 with Elias Boudinot, born in this city as our founding president. One thing that you may not know, as we came back, we incentivized all 200 of our staff to locate in the city, to be in the neighborhoods, to be in the churches, in the schools, and to be serving the city along with you. As we opened our doors, we had the privilege of being part of the host committee to welcome Pope Francis and the World Meeting of the Families here in Philadelphia, and we produced a scripture portion for the Catholic Church for that occasion as he arrived in our wonderful city. We've recently produced a scripture portion for all the police chaplains, thousands of copies for Commissioner Ross and the chaplains to serve the men and women in our city who serve us day by day. And we've also linked arms with ministries that are working with the homeless and with veterans as a beginning of our first chapter here being back in Philadelphia. So it would not be possible to be doing all these things without your support, your incredible support, and the welcome you've given us to come back home. When it comes to serving the people of Philadelphia, we think of you and how you sacrificially serve the people day by day in our government. Your service reminds me of the words of Christ when he said, "I did not come to be served, but to serve." You are truly public servants, sacrificing for the good of Philadelphia. As a thank you, we have placed on each of your desks a personalized engraved copy of the Bible as a gift. And as you look at that piece of scripture, I want you to remember it represents our commitment to serve alongside of you, to serve this city. And we believe working together, the future is bright for Philadelphia. And Councilman Squilla is correct. We are opening a Faith and Liberty Discovery Center on the Independence Mall to help tell the story of the amazing history that happened in that square mile that we live in today in Old City. This beautiful space will proclaim the liberty, justice, and faith that are part of our heritage here in our nation. The brotherly love that William Penn saw was possible if we would all work together. And finally, I remember the words of William Penn when he said this city is a holy experiment. And so today, we are thankful to join hands with you to be part of this holy experiment for many, many years to come. God bless the city of Philadelphia. Thank you very much.
Council will be at ease. Thank you. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilman Henon, who will present a resolution recognizing Construction Safety Week. Would Mary Pat Gephardt and those accompanying her please join the councilman at the podium? And joining Councilman Henon,
Point of information for council members: when we come up and when council is at ease and we take pictures, it would be appreciated if you wore and brought the hard hats as a symbol of our appreciation for Construction Safety Week.
Thank you, Councilman. And joining Councilman Henon, we have Councilman Squilla, Councilman Jones, Councilwoman Keona Sanchez.
I don't want to get written up by the Public Safety and Construction Safety Committee. But thank you. It's May 1st through May 5th, and we're doing the presentation now because we didn't have the opportunity, was National Construction Safety Week, and we observe it here. And no better than observing that is, through the GBCA, which is really old. It's an old organization. It's been around since 1891. So some information that I think is important, because they have a history and a culture of being safe and promoting safety on our work sites. As you know, this committee, our legislative body, through a lot of different policies, special committee on demolition that our council president put together, working with the administration, had a lot of recommendations, and those recommendations were in consultation with the GBCA. So with Philadelphia currently experiencing the growth of construction more than ever, we need construction safety awareness and construction safety awareness in all our communities. And this is beyond Safety Week. GBCA has worked closely with the City of Philadelphia, again, like I had indicated, on a lot of its policies, a lot of its building codes that have invaluable information dating back from 1891, where we observe and national best practices. We implement best practices not only here in the city, but they do that every single day with Philadelphia workers on all our Philadelphia work sites. So, this is an opportunity to thank and acknowledge them for all their hard work that they do, from the chairman, Jim Delonte, Benjamin Congress, who's the president, and Mary Pat Gephardt, who is the chair, who has the awesome responsibility of being the chair of the Public Safety Committee. So it is my honor recognizing and observing a week that has passed, May 1st through May 5th, but we practice all year long, 2017 as Construction Safety Week in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, let me add the value and the importance of having the relationship that the GBAC has had with this city council and this administration. I believe has led to us being more proactive and putting forth better legislative initiatives. So we really appreciate their partnership all year long. Whereas every year across the United States, more than 80,000 workers suffer an injury on construction job sites. And whereas the General Building Contractors Association Safety Committee works to support safe construction practices here in Philadelphia and...
My hat crooked? Oh, the other way? Messed my hair.
It's hiding your game.
I'm sorry. And whereas the Construction Industry Safety Group and the Incident and Injury-Free CEO Forum have joined forces to create U.S. Industry Safety Week with a single aim: to inspire everyone in the construction industry to be leaders in safety and to make safety the #1 focus in the U.S. construction industry. And whereas Construction Safety Week is recognized annually by thanking workers for supporting safety and recognizing their efforts to be injury-free, increasing awareness of the importance of being committed to safety, inspiring the construction industry to work together to strengthen safety culture, celebrating the need to be injury-free, and conducting on-site safety awareness activities to support education, and
Just to take a second, Mr. President, when you appointed the Demolition Safety Committee, this organization stepped up to the plate without hesitation, without reservation, and gave us positive input, which helped keep people safe on construction sites and around. So I am thankful to what your contribution is. Whereas Construction Safety Week increases awareness of the importance of being committed to safety every day and inspires sharing of best practices and working together to strengthen construction industry's safety culture. And whereas the City of Philadelphia and the City Council have worked diligently in recent years to ensure and improve safety in construction practices and pass regulations encouraging safe, injury-free construction in Philadelphia. And
whereas the third annual U.S. Industry Safety Week will occur this year from Monday, May 1st to Friday, May 5th, and therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Philadelphia hereby recognizes and observes May 1st through May 5th, 2017 as Construction Safety Week in the City of Philadelphia, and further be it resolved that a engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to the GBCA, General Builders Contractors Association, as evidence of its sincere and admiration of this legislative body. And no matter what we do, whether it's on a work site or whether it's a home site or anywhere, safety is always first. So thank you and congratulations.
And the chair recognizes Ms. Gephardt for remarks.
Good morning, and thank you, Council President, for allowing me to speak this morning. I am Mary Pat Gephardt, the president of Gephardt Brothers Incorporated, one of the region's largest excavation and demolition contractors, and I am chair of the General Building Contractors Association Safety Committee. On behalf of the GBCA, I would like to thank Councilman Bobby Henon and all of City Council for recognizing Construction Safety Week here in the City of Philadelphia, and for the Council's extensive work on the issue of construction safety throughout the City of Philadelphia. The GBCA is the Philadelphia chapter of the Associated General Contractors of America, with more than 250 member companies. Safe construction is the #1 priority to our organization and all of our member companies. Construction Safety Week is designed to thank our employees and recognize their efforts to be safe on job sites, and to highlight the importance of our collective commitment to safety by strengthening the construction industry's safety culture. The GBCA greatly appreciates the work the City Council and City Departments, such as license and inspections, have done to ensure that Philadelphia continues to be a city focused on safe, injury-free construction work. Through the city's efforts and the continued work of the GBCA Safety Committee, we will continue to emphasize safety as the #1 focus in the Philadelphia construction industry and keep Philadelphia a safe construction city. Again, thank you to the members of City Council for recognizing Construction Safety Week, and particularly to Councilman Bobby Henon for introducing this resolution. Together, we will continue to make safety the highest priority in Philadelphia's construction.
Councilor Biddies. Thank you. The next order of business is communications, and the chair requests that the Sergeant of Arms delivers the messages from the mayor to the chief clerk. Mr. Decker, please read those messages.
To the President and members of the Council of the City of Philadelphia, pursuant to Sections 4604 and 2307 of the Home Rule Charter, I am today transmitting to the Council the recommendation of the City Planning Commission on the following bills and amendments. Bill number 170195, 170196, amendments to Bill number 170262, 170282, 170285, 170287, 170357, 170397, 170398, 170399, 170402, 170403, 170404, 170405, 170428, 170430, 170435, 170436, and 170437. And I am pleased to advise you that on May 22, 2017, I signed the remaining bills, which were passed by council at its session on May 11, 2017. And I am submitting herewith for the consideration of your honorable body a resolution adopting the 2017 Hazard Mitigation Plan as the official hazard mitigation plan of the City of Philadelphia, and a resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of certain properties located in the 5th Councilmanic District in accordance with terms of Chapter 16700 of the Philadelphia Code, and a resolution approving the reappointment of Li Huang to the Philadelphia Water, Sewer, and Stormwater Rate Board, and a resolution approving the appointment of Wendell Anthony Ewing to the Philadelphia Water, Sewer, and Stormwater Rate Board, and an ordinance authorizing the Director of Planning and Development on behalf of the city to file applications with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for a Community Development Block Grant to participate in the Home Investment Partnership Program and the Emergency Solutions Grant Program, and for a Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS grant, and an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to acquire fee simple title or lesser interest by purchase, condemnation, or otherwise in parcels of land generally in the area bounded by Susquehanna, Lambert, Norris, 22nd, Diamond, and 21st Streets, and authorizing an agreement between the City of Philadelphia and the Redevelopment Authority for the PRA to act as the city's condemnation agent, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Decker. You have any additional communications?
I have none, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. The next order of business is introduction of bills and resolutions, and the chair recognizes Councilwoman Reynolds Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer 3 resolutions today, co-sponsored by members Parker, Blackwell, Squilla, Green, Taltonberger, Gim, Bass, and I thank them.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
A privileged resolution recognizing June 5, 2017 as World Environment Day in the City of Philadelphia.
Today's calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing and honoring Wanda D. Paul for her extraordinary dedication, tireless advocacy, and lifetime of service for the citizens of the City of Philadelphia.
Today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution authorizing the joint City Council Committees on Education and Children and Youth to hold hearings to investigate the resources and current practices available to students and their families within the School District of Philadelphia and the Philadelphia Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services to prevent suicides among children and youth in the City of Philadelphia.
Also in today's final passage calendar, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I introduce 3 non-privileged resolutions and 1 privilege, signed by nearly everyone.
Thank you,
Sponsored by
Councilwoman.
nearly everyone in council. And I also introduce the Community Development Block Grant application on your behalf and 2 other bills on my own.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing Brandywine Realty Trust to construct, own, and maintain various right-of-way encroachments at 3001 through 23 Market Street.
Refer to committee.
And an ordinance authorizing Mr. Beldiv Shunta, owner and operator of the newsstand located on the west side of 34th Street, 148 feet north of Convention Avenue, to construct, use, and maintain conduits in, under, and across the west side of 34th Street, 148 feet north of Convention Avenue for the purpose of supplying electrical service to said newsstand.
Refer to committee.
And an ordinance authorizing the Director of Planning and Development on behalf of the city to file applications with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for a community development block grant, to file applications to participate in the Home Investment Partnership Program and the Emergency Solutions Grant Program.
Refer to committee.
And a privilege resolution recognizing and honoring Ambassador Dr. Arikana Chamboy Kwan for her many accomplishments in the medical field and also for her work in international relations, working with African countries on behalf of the United States of America. We welcome her to Philadelphia, and we are humbled to have her as the keynote speaker for the African Business Forum of the 42nd Annual Odunde Festival.
This week's calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution adding Sadiq Water Ice Way to the street signs on South 6th between Locust and Spruce Streets.
Next week's calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution adding Sunny Hill Way to the street signs on South 50th between Larchwood and Osage Avenues.
And that will be on next week's final passes calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution also naming the 5200 through the 5300 blocks of Vine Street as Crystal Bird Fosse Way.
And that will be on next week's final passes calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee.
Thank you, Mr. President. On your behalf, I offer 2 bills and 1 resolution.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance authorizing the revision of lines and grades on a portion of City Plan Number 308 by striking from the city plan and vacating certain subsurface portions and certain aerial portions of Moravian Street from 19th Street to 20th Street.
Refer to committee.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to acquire fee simple title or lesser interest by purchase, condemnation, or otherwise in parcels of land generally in the area bounded by Susquehanna, Lambert, Norris, 22nd, Diamond, and 21st Streets.
And that will be referred to committee.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of certain properties located in the 5th Councilmanic District.
And that will be on next week's final passes calendar. The chair recognizes Councilman Henon.
Thank you, Council President. On your behalf, I offer 2 bills.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance amending Bill Number 170195 approved in June of 2017 entitled An Ordinance to Adopt the Capital Program for the 6 fiscal years 2018 through 2023 inclusive by adding, revising, and or removing certain projects, amounts, and sources.
Refer to committee.
And an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to enter into a sublease agreement with the Philadelphia Authority for Industrial Development for use by the city of premises located at 400 North Broad Street and 1501 Callowhill Street.
Refer to committee. And the chair recognizes Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 1 resolution and 1 bill. I'd like to speak briefly to the resolution.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance amending Chapter 19-1200 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Condominium and Cooperative Conversions to add provisions requiring notification to tenants upon intent to terminate or alter leases under certain circumstances.
Refer to committee.
And a non-privileged resolution adopting the 2017 Hazard Mitigation Plan as the official hazard mitigation plan of the City of Philadelphia.
Chair recognizes Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll defer the proper execution of eviction orders for another day. What I'd like to talk about and refer to my colleagues as the OEM briefing flyer that should be on your desk. I wanted to explain what this is. It's a mitigation plan by the City of Philadelphia of various hazards that the City of Philadelphia may face. As Chair of Public Safety, the administration asked that we review this and then actually vote on it, not this week, but in the following week, to give you time to look at it. But it is a fascinating document. It talks about what we do in case of emergencies. It's required by FEMA in order for, in the case of any disaster, for them to come in and add federal dollars, they want to know, did we have a plan? Do we have a plan for active shooters? Do we have a plan for earthquakes? Do we have a plan for cold and heat emergencies? And quite frankly, having glanced through this, I think we do. But I'd love to give an opportunity for all members to come by the office. I would make copies of it, but a lot of trees would have to pay the price for this much paperwork. But it's for your review for the next week. If you have questions about particular sections that may be germane to whatever your committees or interests are, please feel free to do so. I think the city has done a really good job every 5 years of updating this plan to make sure that we as a big city aren't caught unprepared for whatever man-made or natural disasters there are, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. That will be on next week's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Council President. I have 4 resolutions, one bill also on, 4 resolutions, one resolution on your behalf, also on one bill, and I would like to speak briefly on one of my resolutions, sir.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance amending Section 12701 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Designation of Bicycle Lanes by authorizing the Department of Streets to designate a bicycle lane in the southbound direction on 15th Street between Carpenter Street and Washington Avenue.
Further committee?
And a non-privileged resolution approving the reappointment of Lee Huang to the Philadelphia Water, Sewer, and Storm Water Rate Board.
Next week's calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing June as Reentry Awareness Month in the city of Philadelphia.
Councilman, which one do you want to speak? This one?
Yes.
Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Council President. Today I introduced a privileged resolution and in prime co-sponsorship with my colleague Councilman Curtis Jones, recognizing June as National Reentry Month here in the city of Philadelphia. I just want to acknowledge the following organizations who are here today supporting this event, as well as supporting this resolution, as well as the Managing Director's Office. So we have Philadelphia Reentry Think Tank, New Leash on Life, Mothers in Charge. We have Ms. Dorothy Johnson Spite, who's here, the Defender Association of Philadelphia, Mr. Tracy L. Fisher, and Dr. Simmons from Gateway to Reentry, JAVS Human Services, Philadelphia Department of Prisons. We specifically have Blanche Carney, who's the Commissioner of the Department of Prisons, the U.S. Attorney's Office of Eastern District of Pennsylvania, Friends Rehabilitation Program, Gardenzia, Graduate Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Reentry Coalition, and immediately after the council session, there will be a reception for all of the groups in honor of National Reentry Month in the caucus room. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman, and that will be on this week's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing June 2, 2017 as Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of Philadelphia.
And that will also be on this week's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution celebrating the career of Michael Stiles on the occasion of his retirement and honoring him for his exceptional leadership in the Philadelphia Phillies front office and his dedicated service as a prosecutor and as a judge.
And that will be on this week's final passage calendar. Chair now recognizes Councilwoman Kiona Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one bill.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
An ordinance revising parking regulations on Granite Street, Southside, Frankfurt Avenue to Darrow Street.
That bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. Chair recognizes Councilman Green.
Good morning, Council President. I have no bills or resolutions today.
Thank you, Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Parker.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no bills or resolutions today.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Chair recognizes Councilman Don.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no bills or resolutions today.
Thank you, Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Gimm.
Hi, Council President. I have one bill, and I'd like to be recognized for remarks.
After the title. Thank you, Councilwoman.
An ordinance amending Chapter 2300 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Compensation and Benefits to require the provision of coverage of egg freezing in vitro fertilization and related procedures under city health insurance plans.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Kim.
Thank you very much, Council President. Before Council today, I joined 12 other women leaders, including my Council colleague, Councilwoman Bass, from across southeastern Pennsylvania to hear testimony on women's health, and in particular on women's reproductive health and the dangers posed by AHCA. We're here today to firmly declare that healthcare for women, LGBTQ people, cancer survivors, and those who struggle to build their families mustn't be optional. The choice to have children as a mother of 3 is a deeply personal one, and the freedom to build a family in whatever ways we choose is at the center of what it means to be human. For many of us, though, this choice isn't simple, and it's not free. When the city insurance plans covered medically assisted family assistance and pregnancy treatments, 14 of our colleagues across the entire city workforce, 14 of our friends and neighbors had access to procedures and treatments necessary to make that choice, to build their own families and to forge their own paths in life. These were women, these were our LGBTQ family members, they were cancer survivors, and families that got the help and care that they needed. And that's why, along with my council colleagues, I'm introducing a bill today to require that all insurance plans for city employees cover care for egg freezing, in vitro fertilization, and medically approved procedures for establishing pregnancy. And I deeply want to thank the co-sponsors of this bill, Councilmember Henon, Parker, Greenlee, Reynolds Brown, Bass, Green, Blackwell, Johnson, and Quinones Sanchez, and the Mayor's administration for working with us on this. As we fight for a medical system for all, for a system that truly meets the needs and the choices and the lives of all Philadelphians and all Americans, we are firm in the conviction that it's up to all of us to share the burdens of caring for and lifting up one another in our moments of pain and of challenge and especially of joy. And in this moment, I just want to give special recognition to one of our council colleagues, Randy Trent, who has bravely faced a cancer diagnosis and fought to keep open the possibilities of carrying children and starting her own family. We stand with Randy, whose strength is an inspiration to all of us, and we stand with all of our colleagues and friends who deserve this care. I look forward to working with the administration and city employees to implement this critical policy, and thank everybody involved who helped make it possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. That bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. Chair recognizes Councilman Taubenberger.
Good afternoon, Council President. I have no bills or resolutions today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilman O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one bill on your behalf, in which I am co-sponsor.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance amending Section 2305 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Office of Property Assessment, Chief Assessment Officers, Powers and Duties, by further providing with respect to the manner in which assessments are determined for certain properties that are subject to rent restrictions, affordability requirements, and other related restrictions, and for properties with respect to which federal or state income tax credits have been obtained.
Thank you. That bill will be referred to the appropriate committee, and the chair recognizes Councilman Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer 2 bills and 1 non-privileged resolution.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance authorizing Gall and Company Malt House to install, own, and maintain an open-air sidewalk cafe at 3133 Gall Street.
Refer to committee.
And an ordinance amending Section 9 of an ordinance, Bill Number 150377, approved June 18, 2015, as amended by Bill Number 160566, approved June 16, 2016, entitled, An ordinance authorizing the construction, ownership, and maintenance of various encroachments into the right-of-way of Market Street, Filbert Street, 11th Street, 10th Street, 9th Street, and 8th Street, and authorizing the assignment of certain rights with respect to overhead pedestrian bridge.
Refer to committee.
And a non-privileged resolution also naming 13th Street between Mifflin and McKean Streets as Tommy Coletti Way.
And that will be on next week's final passes calendar. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer 1 non-privileged resolution.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
A Privileged resolution authorizing council's joint committees on public health and human services and education to hold hearings to examine the practice by the Department of Human Services to deny the due process protections to public school teachers accused of child abuse and the Philadelphia School District's reliance on such findings to terminate teachers prior to an actual determination of abuse.
And that will be on this week's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman O.
Thank you, Council President. Today I offer one bill and two non-privileged resolutions co-sponsored by Council members Gim, Taubenberger, Blackwell, Bass, and Dom. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
An ordinance amending Chapter 19-1200 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Parking Tax by adding definitions for smart parking technology and electric vehicle charging infrastructure and imposing a reduced tax rate on any person conducting or operating a parking facility that includes smart parking technology and electric vehicle charging infrastructure.
And that will be referred to committee.
And a non-privileged resolution urging the President of the United States and the United States Congress to enact legislation securing the citizenship of internationally adopted adult individuals.
And next week's final passage calendar.
And a non-privileged resolution opposing proposed taxes for technology and computer services in Pennsylvania.
And that will be on next week's final passage calendar. That concludes our introduction of bills and resolutions, and we will now have our reports from committee. And the chair recognizes Councilman Henon for a report from the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules of council be suspended as to permit the first reading of this day bill. Never mind, Mr. President. The Committee of the Whole reports out 6 bills with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Mr. Decker, please read that report.
The Committee of the Whole, to which is referred Bill Number 170195, entitled An Ordinance to Adopt a Capital Program for the 6 fiscal years 2018 through 2023 inclusive, and Bill Number 170196, entitled An Ordinance to Adopt the Fiscal 2018 Capital Budget, and Bill Number 170197, entitled An Ordinance Adopting the Operating Budget for Fiscal Year 2018, and Bill Number 170198, entitled An Ordinance Amending Chapter 19-1500 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Wage and Net Profits Tax by revising certain tax rates, and Bill Number 170199, entitled An Ordinance Amending Section 19-1801 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Authorization of Tax, to further authorize the Board of Education of the School District of Philadelphia to impose a tax on real estate within the City of Philadelphia, and Bill Number 170200, entitled An Ordinance Amending Section 19-1806 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Authorization of Realty Use and Occupancy Tax, to further authorize the Board of Education of the School District of Philadelphia to impose a tax on the use or occupancy of real estate within the School District of Philadelphia. Respectfully reports it has considered the same and returns the attached bills to council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Chair again recognizes Councilman Henon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that the rules of council be suspended so to permit the first reading of this day, bill numbers 170195, 170196, 170197, 170198, 170199, and 170200.
Thank you. It has been moved and properly second that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit first reading this day of bills number 170195, 170196, 170197, 170198, 170199, and 170200. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, ayes have it, and these bills will be placed on our first reading calendar today. The next in order of business is consideration of the calendar. I note that the bills just reported from committee with suspension of the rules have been deemed to have had a first reading. These bills will be placed on our second reading and final passage calendar at our next session of council. There are no additional bills on the first reading calendar, and the chair recognizes Councilman Henon for the purpose of calling up bills and resolutions on the final passage calendar today.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following resolutions and bills are being called up for second reading and final passage calendars today. Bill numbers 170526, 170527, 170532, 170533, 170534, 170282A, 170265A, and all other bills and resolutions are being held.
Thank you, Councilman. Before considering these bills and resolutions on the final passage calendar, today we will have our public comment session. It will go as follows. If you have not already done so, and you are interested in testifying on a bill or resolution that is on the final passage calendar today, you may sign up at the table to my left When your name is called, you will go to the podium in the middle of the council chambers. There's a device on that podium. When the light turns green on that device, it will be your time to speak. When the light turns yellow, you will have 30 seconds to conclude your remarks. When the light turns red, we would ask that you please adhere to our guidelines and conclude your remarks. You will be given 3 minutes to testify. Mr. Decker, please call the name of the first witness.
Joe Danahill, commenting on 170526.
Morning. This is an official decree and writ mandamus quo warranto, and as such requires immediate action and remedy. If God created the people, if God gave the people inalienable, inviolable rights, if the government is created by the people, how can the government steal from the people and defy and deny God-given rights? Every week, the council and mayor take property from people, possibly illegally, and give it to the government. Mandamus quo warranto asks, by whose authority? Where does the government, council, and the mayor claim their power to violate the Constitution and law? Clearly, your oath reminds you no authority exists. Clearly, God and the people's sovereignty over government has been usurped. Clearly, by the people, for the people, has been violated. When did by the people and for the people become screw the people? The Constitutions require immediate remedy of this breach of law. Your oath of office requires you to act or face prison. 42 U.S.C. 1982, 1983, 1985, 1986, 1987, 18 U.S.C. 241, 242, 2381, 2384, PA Constitution, Article 1, Section 1 through 11, 26 PA CSA 703, 705, 708, 709, 712, 713, 716, and other laws listed in SCOTUS 158965, 141330, 144056 appear violated. I call upon the federal and commonwealth governments to perform their constitutional obligations, to investigate and prosecute all involved in the theft and illegal deed transfer of my home, 1038 West Wyoming Avenue, the denial of God-given 42 U.S.C. 1982 property rights for 23 years is egregious, extraordinary, oath-violating, and requires immediate remedy. A just government must obey the rule of law. This color of law government must have its charter to govern revoked until a constitutionally compliant government is installed. Public servants cannot refuse their sworn duty to act any more than a fireman can refuse to fight a fire. The sovereign people require the Constitution and laws be enforced. Jail is required for all who violate oath or law. I remind council it takes a lot of cooperation to create and allow monumental corruption.
Thank you. Would I ask the clerk please read the name of our next speaker?
Maria Ortiz. Commenting on 170285.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here on Bill 170285. I'm here on the bill on 170285. It doesn't provide an appeal process for the RCO. We know the importance of an appeal process. In this case, for example, our Smith School, the community was not allowed to appeal the SRC decision of the sale of our school to market rate developer, and now to learn that Concordian turned around and sold to another developer after arguing for months about a fire-package deal of a school. Within 24 hours after May 19th, they resold the property to another high-end developer. If there had been an appeal process, that would never have happened. The importance of an appeal is important to give the right to see the process done in the right way. An appeal gives you a chance to explain why it should or should not be done. I feel an appeal process would have benefit a project. RCO plays an important role if done in the right manner. Community needs to have an input to make community safe. If all for all, a community safe for all. When new people come in the community, They want to see schools, recreation center. I know this because we lost 9 new neighbors, because there's no place for children or seniors. An appeal plays an important part. It is a right for all. Now, our Smith School will be turned into market rate housing, pushing low-income, moderate, and working family out of the community. If the appeal was put in place, this would never have happened. Appeal is a right for everyone, not just for some.
Thank you. Clerk, plead to read name of the next speaker, please.
Tiffany Green. Commenting on 170285.
Good afternoon. I ask the City Council vote no to 17285. This bill gives the Planning Commission the right to suspend community groups in Philadelphia without an independent appeal process. An independent appeal process allows us to go and make our argument if we have feel that we've been suspended wrongly. Initially, the RCO process was supposed to be a registry for notification for new development coming into the community, not to turn into a private club where you have to now follow rules, regulations, and now suspension, and then no appeal process. This bill gives the Planning Commission to make them the judge and the jury. How can you make them the judge and jury when in our community, 250 minority residents came out and voted no to 20th and Wharton, what was on fire last week, and the Planning Commission voted in our face to pass it through for one particular developer with very little community support. In that community, there's bitter feelings. Councilman Henon, this might be a good bill for your district, but you have no right to go around to other districts where there's not a good relationship with the Planning Commission. We need an independent appeal process. At this particular point, thank God our forefathers, Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson, had the foresight to input an independent appeal process so that if you don't get, if you're not able to you're able to go to someone. You of all people should understand the importance of having an appeal process if you are falsely accused of something that you did not do, and you need to be able to go ahead and defend yourself and everything. Who's going to do the investigation? Who's going to look into it? The Planning Commission has passed over 500 new market rate developments in over the last 5 years, and you want to make them the judge and the jury? I don't think so. We need leadership that's going to stand up for us. Thank God our forefathers stood up for us and had the leadership. If the leadership supports suspended community groups that come to your fundraisers, that come to your community events, and you don't feel the need to give them an appeal process, then you don't have their best interests at heart. As the minister said, have a human heart. Understand that everything is not perfect, but you cannot be suspending groups and making this into some type of private club that allows new groups to come in with the resources to set up a nonprofit quickly in your neighborhood and then claim RCO status as if they don't have the power and to say what goes on in your community. And if you want to talk about construction safety, then why is 20th and Wharton still building after 15 open violations after that fire? Let's start with that. Let's deal with that first before you start talking about canceling community groups throughout the city of Philadelphia. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk. Please read the next speaker. Thank you, Clerk. Please read the next speaker.
Tracy Fisher. Tracy Fisher. Tony Ebright. Commenting on Councilman Jones' resolution introduced today on Reentry Awareness Month.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Ebright. It's a privilege to be able to show my support for the reentry bill. I'm here as a returning citizen, an employee of Mothers in Charge, and an advocate for many people that are returning home from jail. I just basically want to show my support and want to briefly tell you who I used to be and who I am today to show you the importance and the significance of reentry to people like myself today. I'm actually a grateful recovering addict today, but I was in addiction for 9 years. Went in and out of incarceration 9 times in the last 10 years, eventually made it upstate. I had 2 children, 1 daughter who followed in my process and also became a heroin addict. The The opiate epidemic is a nightmare today in Philadelphia and across the country. I've lost many friends to the disease, and I'm here today to show my support because many of us, I wouldn't be where I am today without that support that I received when I arrived in Philadelphia a year ago. I work for Mothers in Charge today. I started off in a program called Women Working for a Change. It's a job readiness program that basically has a cognitive piece to that. There's problem solving, social skills, and that was actually saved my life when I came here to Philadelphia. So I wanted to basically just get up here and speak today in support of that. Today I actually work for Mothers in Charge. I'm the program coordinator for that program. I go to college again. My daughter has over 2 years in sobriety, and I have my life back again today. Thank you.
Thank you for your public comment. Clerk, is there anyone else here that wishes to sign up a public comment?
There are no other speakers, Mr. Chairman.
That being none, this concludes our public comment period for today. And we will now consider the consideration of the bills and resolutions on our second reading and final passage calendars. Clerk, would you please read the title of Resolution 170526?
A resolution authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to execute and deliver to the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority without consideration deeds conveying conditional fee simple title to certain city-owned lots or pieces of ground with the buildings and improvements thereon, situated in the 4th Ward of the City of Philadelphia.
Chair recognizes Councilman Jones.
Move for the adoption of the resolution. Thank you.
It has been moved and seconded the resolution to be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Clerk, could you please read the title of Resolution 170532? What's that? 170532. Okay.
A resolution urging the Pennsylvania General Assembly to adopt House Bill number 393, which would uncap the Pennsylvania Film Production Tax Credit Program.
Chair recognizes Councilman O.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Clerk, would you please read the title of Resolution 170527?
A resolution naming Paschal Avenue between South 64th Street and South 65th Street, Albert Willis Way, to honor Albert Willis, the commander of William P. Roche American Legion Post number 21, and 1st District Commander of Pennsylvania, to commemorate his life and service to the City of Philadelphia and the United States of America.
Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Clerk, would you please read the title of Resolution 170533?
A resolution creating the Philadelphia Film Advisory Task Force.
Chair recognizes Councilman O.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Clerk, would you please read the title of Resolution 170534?
A resolution calling upon the Philadelphia Streets Department to post the fine for violation of the electric vehicle parking space restrictions on site, and calling upon the Philadelphia Parking Authority to establish a dedicated call line to report violations of electric vehicle parking space restrictions and to vigorously enforce such electric vehicle parking space restrictions.
Chair recognizes Councilman O.
Thank you, Chairman. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Clerk, would you please read the ordinance, Bill number 170282A?
An ordinance amending Chapter 14900 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Signs by providing for new sign controls entitled 1900 Market Street Digital Display Sign Regulations.
This bill have been read on 2 different days. The question is now that the bill finally be passed. Chief Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bass. Councilwoman Blackwell. Councilman Dom. Councilman Green. Councilman Greenlee. Councilwoman Gim. Councilman Johnson. Councilman Jones. Councilman O'Neill, Councilman O, Councilwoman Parker, Councilwoman Corina Sanchez, Councilwoman Reynolds Brown, Councilman Squilla, Councilman Taubenberger, Councilman Henon.
Aye. The ayes are 16, the nays are 0. The majority of members of having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Clerk, would you please read bill number 170265A?
An ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Devereaux Avenue Extended, Keystone Street, Princeton Avenue, Keystone Street, Cotman Avenue Extended, Milner Street, Bly Avenue Extended, and the Delaware River.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question is now that shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Bass, Councilwoman Blackwell, Councilman Dom, Councilman Green, Councilman Greenlee, Councilwoman Gim, Councilman Johnson, Councilman Jones, Councilman O'Neill, Councilman O, Councilwoman Parker, Councilwoman Corina Sanchez, Councilwoman Reynolds Brown, Councilman Squilla, Councilman Taubenberger, Councilman Henon.
Aye. The ayes are 16 and nays are 0. The majority of the members of having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes finally. Now we would consideration of the privilege resolutions. Would you please, Clerk, read any additional resolutions on today's calendar?
A resolution recognizing June 5, 2017 as World Environment Day in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilwoman Reynolds Brown.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move for the adoption.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be passed finally. In favor, all those signify by saying aye. Opposed? The resolution is adopted.
And a resolution recognizing and honoring Wanda D. Paul for her extraordinary dedication, tireless advocacy, and lifetime of service for the citizens of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilwoman Reynolds Brown.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move for the adoption.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
And a resolution authorizing the Joint City Council Committees on Education and Children and Youth to hold hearings to investigate the resources and current practices available to students and their families within the School District of Philadelphia and the Philadelphia Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services to prevent suicides among children and youth in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilwoman Reynolds Brown.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Brown.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I move for the adoption.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
And a resolution recognizing and honoring Ambassador Dr. Ericana Chihumbori Kwan for her many accomplishments in the medical field and also for her work in international relations, working with African countries on behalf of the United States of America. We welcome her to Philadelphia, and we are humbled to have her as the keynote speaker for the African Business Forum of the 42nd Annual Odunde Festival, introduced by Councilwoman Blackwell.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Blackwell.
Thank you. We move for the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
And a resolution recognizing June as Reentry Awareness Month in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilman Johnson.
Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
And a resolution recognizing June 2, 2017 as Gun Violence Awareness Day in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilman Johnson.
Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
And a resolution celebrating the career of Michael Stiles on the occasion of his retirement and honoring him for his exceptional leadership in the Philadelphia Phillies front office and his dedicated service as a prosecutor and as a judge, introduced by Councilman Johnson.
Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
And a resolution authorizing Council's joint committees on Public Health and Human Services and Education to hold hearings to examine the practice by the Department of Human Services to deny due process protections to public school teachers accused of child abuse, and the Philadelphia School District's reliance on such findings to terminate teachers prior to an actual determination of abuse, introduced by Councilwoman Bass.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Bass.
Thank you. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
There are no other resolutions on the final passage calendar, Mr. Chairman.
Well, that completes our calendar for today. Are there any speeches on part of the minority? Chair recognizes Councilman Henon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to do two things. One is to praise and the other is to oppose Governor Wolf. First of all, I wanted to praise him for his effort to increase funding to combat the heroin opioid epidemic in Pennsylvania. And I certainly support him in that and appreciate his efforts and his leadership, and I have said so publicly. But I would like to just oppose the proposed tax on technology, which I think will be very harmful to our state in its competitiveness, but in particular Philadelphia, which relies heavily on technology services, technology software, technology development, a 6% tax. And that tax has been tried before, it has been withdrawn, and I would really urge the governor to reconsider the harm that tax would do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Before we ask for speeches on behalf of the majority, I would just like to note, Mr. Decker, for the record, I would like to be recorded as voting aye on all bills and resolutions during my absence. Are there speeches on the part of the majority? Oh, okay. The chair recognizes Councilman Henon.
I shall be quick, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and remind everybody that this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and the purpose of celebrating and acknowledging all our armed services, and for those who served, those who gave their life for our country, for those, all right, who fought and gave us our four founders and created our government in which we serve in the most public way. I want to thank all the veterans and for those who made the ultimate sacrifice in giving their own life, and for those who serve now and those who will serve in the future. I want to thank and honor all their service.
Thank you, Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilman Green.
Thank you, Council President. Yesterday, we learned about a new proposed development for a new police headquarters at 440 North Broad Street. As a nephew of two former police officers, our hardworking men and women of the Philadelphia Police Department deserve a new facility. This development provides an opportunity for a significant upgrade in public safety in our city. The new building will provide a new headquarters, a combined fire and police communications system, and a new morgue and toxicology lab. Further, this development is another major economic development project in our city. As proposed, this new development is a $290 million project. The timing of this project could not be better. Recently, Councilwoman Blackwell announced a major new program that provides a pathway into the building trades at projects at Penn. Further, and as a part of the rebuild program, the administration is working on a MOU with the building trades to create a pathway to union membership. As the proposed future owner of 400 North Broad Street as a police headquarters, I call on the administration to use these examples from Rebuild and Penn to create an opportunity for minority and women workers to become union members, and for minority and women-owned businesses to have a significant opportunity to be a part of this $290 million project. We all know that poverty is one of the biggest issues that face our city. Through this project, we have an opportunity to address poverty by enabling those that have often been left out of major development projects a chance to participate in our local economy. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Council President. Just another reminder, after council and inside the council caucus room, we will be hosting a reentry reception with the various organizations who are down here visiting us for reentry month. And also on June the 2nd, in honor of National Gun Violence Awareness Day, I will be hosting a interfaith prayer vigil and rally to recognize and address the issue of gun violence downstairs on the plaza at 11 a.m. So I'll make sure everyone receives a copy of the information they would like to come out and stand against gun violence. But also, you know, just as a city, I think we need to do a reality check in the current state of the city of Philadelphia as it relates to youth violence. You know, my heart was saddened early on this week when I watched a mother on television cry and a family member talking about moving out of their neighborhood because two thugs decided to ride up on a bicycle and shoot indiscriminately at another young man while he had his 2-year-old son on the porch with him. And the 2-year-old son was shot 4 times, but through the grace of God, that young man is doing okay now. And so, you know, I'm always stay on this case. It's something I'm passionate about, but we'll never be a great city until we address this issue comprehensively. I thank you for your leadership and encouragement through the conversations that you and I have been having, Council President, as it relates to this issue, as well as Councilman Curtis Jones through our late night conversations regarding how we're going to be addressing these issues in our various districts. And so that information will be forthcoming to everyone, but let's continue to make sure we keep our pulse on the issue of youth gun violence and gun violence in general here in the city of Philadelphia. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you for keeping the issue alive. Chair recognizes Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, was a part of the briefing on the proposed headquarters at 400 North Broad. I support it. I believe, like my colleague, Councilman Green, that our officers have a daunting job and need a world-class, first-class headquarters. So I support that project. However, I also support that the facility at 4601 Market Street needs to be renovated. That place has been vacant for over a dozen years. It serves as the gateway into West Philadelphia. It, before that, was besieged by the L construction, was left pretty much unattended, and then we put a great deal of effort in that. So I am for that, but I don't want to neglect 46 and Market, because that is not my district, but it is the gateway to my district. And all development will feed off of that particular cornerstone on Market Street. So as we look to upgrading facilities, as we look to establishing a world-class headquarters, do not forget the cornerstone of West Philadelphia, which is 4601 Market Street, and we need development there. We need jobs there. We also enjoy Center City, but there are neighborhoods, those middle neighborhoods that my colleague talks about, that needs that economic stimulus there. So I look forward to the plans that the administration has, the RFP that they should let, so that maybe service industries find a home and a headquarters. So maybe that some of the agri-grow that my colleague Tollenberger talks about can be there. But let's show some vision for West Philly. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. That concludes our speeches on behalf of the minority and the majority. And with that, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Reynolds Brown for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the council stand adjourned until Thursday, June 8th, 2017 at 10 a.m.
It's been moved to properly second that council stand adjourned until Thursday, June 8th, 2017, 10 a.m. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, ayes have it. Thank you all very much.